a dental office manager issued a decisive ultimatum to her lover. He was given a year to leave his wife of 34 years. 11 months later, his wife, Bianca Rudolph, was found dead. A shotgun wound to her chest silenced her in a remote hunting camp in Zambia. Hello everyone. Today, we'll delve into another unsettling case. Bianca Rudolph, born on December 4th, 1956. Hailed from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she grew up alongside her two brothers, Vincent and Ralph Venezia. Bianca studied at the University of Pittsburgh as an undergraduate. There, she met the man who would later become her husband. And tragically, her killer, Larry Rudolph, met Bianca while pursuing dental studies at the University of Pittsburgh. Together, they raised two children, their son Julian and daughter Anna Bianca. Larry built a successful dental practice in Pittsburgh, appearing in his own promotional ads, promoting innovative sedation dentistry. This was a groundbreaking technique at the time. Bianca initially worked in his dental office, but later focused on raising their children. After their arrival, Julian and Anna Bianca grew up in a typical suburban setting near Pittsburgh. Larry was seen as a devoted father, often generous and charismatic. Meanwhile, Bianca was a remarkable mother, deeply loved by her children. The couple shared a passion for big game hunting. Before meeting Larry, Bianca had little hunting experience, but she became a respected international hunter and president of the Safari Club International Pittsburgh chapter. Larry received the prestigious 2007 Weatherby Award, regarded as the Nobel Prize of trophy hunting. Yet, beneath the perfect facade of this family, dark undercurrents were quietly brewing. Rumors suggested a troubling side to Larry in both his personal and professional life. In the early 2000s, his dental partners accused him of embezzling funds from the practice. When confronted, his partners gave Larry a firm ultimatum: leave quietly or face legal consequences. Larry denied the accusations but was forced to leave. He soon sought to rebuild his reputation, launching Three Rivers Dental Group, a mere 500 feet from his former partner's office. In 2006, Larry claimed he had injured his left thumb in an accident. The incident allegedly occurred in Zambia. He claimed he could no longer practice dentistry, citing nerve damage as grounds for disability insurance. Soon, he collected $30,000 a month, tax-free, but many ex-colleagues suspected the injury was fabricated. His son, Julian Rudolph, recalled a far more complicated family dynamic. "My mother brought out the best in him," Julian reflected. And Lori Maliron, she unleashed the worst. The cracks in Larry's carefully crafted world were about to shatter into total collapse. Lori Maliron joined Larry's office as a manager in 2002, fully aware he was married with children. They began an affair that lasted for years. Anna Grimley, a former office manager at the practice, said Rudolph always kept someone on the side, often making advances toward others in the office. When the affair became public knowledge, the Safari Club International accused Larry of misconduct and expelled him from the club in 2013. The scandal was explosive. Members accused him of adultery, issuing false statements, and violating club ethics. The board voted to expel Rudolph, erasing his name from their records and distancing him from past honors. Larry fought back with a defamation lawsuit, ultimately securing a settlement in May 2016. Yet questions lingered about his Weatherby Award. Meanwhile, Bianca stood by him in a sworn deposition, recounting the devastating toll of defending their marriage to friends. When asked about Larry's alleged affairs, Bianca denied he had ever strayed. She declared, "I was not a long-suffering wife. I've never been a long-suffering wife. My husband and I have shared 3 decades of marriage. Happily so. But the damage was already done." Those close to the couple began to suspect Larry was leading a double life. and that double life was spiraling out of control. And then, an ultimatum set the stage for tragedy. Larry's former office manager, Anna, grimly unveiled a dark secret. For years, Larry, a man feared for his fiery temper, hid a forbidden affair right under his colleagues' noses. His lover was Laurie Milliron. After the 2013 Safari Club scandal, Larry and Bianca fled Pittsburgh for a lavish home in Phoenix, Arizona, where Laurie shadowed Larry's every move. But the weight of their hidden passion and Larry's tangled lies pushed Laurie to her breaking point. In 2015, she issued a chilling ultimatum. "I've waited over a decade," Laurie declared. Her patience burned out. She refused to linger in the shadows any longer. Larry had 1 year to abandon Bianca or lose Laurie forever. She was done being the secret mistress. Anna grimly later revealed in Hulu's gripping docu-series, Trophy Wife, Murder on Safari, that Laurie craved it all. She wanted Bianca's life, grimly whispered. 1 year to erase Bianca, or I walk. The doomsday clock was ticking. Larry faced a deadly decision, one that would shatter his family forever. Larry and Bianca chased thrills on hunting trips, together and apart, snapping up real estate in Arizona, where their daughter, Anna Bianca, was studying in college. In October 2016, after 34 years of marriage, they ventured back to Zambia's Kafue National Park. Bianca, a fearless hunter, set her sights on a leopard in the wild. It would be their final hunt together. After 2 weeks of elusive prey, they packed to return to the US for a family gathering on October 11, 2016, in their remote hunting camp. As they prepared for the airport, their game scout, Spencer Kokoma, heard a gunshot rip through the silence. "I rushed in," Kokoma recalled, "and saw Bianca. I was frozen in horror. Bianca lay lifeless, drenched in her own blood. Her shotgun sprawled across the floor, half zipped in its tattered case, a jagged hole torn through one end." Larry wailed, his voice breaking. "How will I face my children?" He knelt beside Bianca's lifeless form, spinning a tale for Kokoma and camp manager, Godfrey Nanyemba. He was in the bathroom when the fatal shot rang out. He claimed he rushed out to find Bianca dead, but Spencer Kokoma, a seasoned game scout, spotted clues that screamed foul play. Kokoma remembered Bianca unloading live rounds from the gun just the night before. Larry first swore Bianca had taken her own life, deliberately pulling the trigger while he was in the bathroom. But soon, his story twisted. No longer suicide. He claimed Bianca accidentally shot herself while packing the shotgun. Kokoma wasn't convinced. Nothing added up. He noticed Larry was fully dressed, standing in the cabin, moments after the gunshot. Yet, to local police, Larry claimed he was only in a towel. His lies were already unraveling. As Bianca's body lay cold, more red flags emerged. Her body was rushed to Lusaka, Zambia's capital, 4 hours from their remote camp. For an autopsy, Larry demanded his devout Catholic wife's body be cremated, a chilling rush to erase evidence. He fled Africa within days, without a word to his children about their mother's gruesome fate. Zambian authorities returned to the scene, photographing Bianca's body at a Lusaka funeral home awaiting cremation. But a US embassy official stepped in, unbeknownst to Larry, a former Marine with weapons expertise. He scrutinized Bianca's body, measuring the fatal wound with chilling precision and taking detailed photos. He probed the fatal distance between the shotgun's muzzle and Bianca's shattered chest. It was 6.5 to 8 feet. too far for an accident. When the consular chief returned to his office from the grim funeral home, Larry Rudolph called, his voice seething. Furious, he demanded answers, enraged that the chief had dared to inspect Bianca's body and photographed her wounds. When Rudolph confronted the consular chief, he pressed hard. Who could see those files? Who had access to Bianca's death records? He even hinted Bianca might have ended her own life, pulling the trigger in despair. Then a wildlife officer, Musua Musais, arrived at the scene, his sharp eyes catching chilling details. The shotgun's barrel was too long for suicide, and no fingerprints were ever collected. The American in the golf shirt, his tears dried fast under Musais' scrutiny. Dr. Rudolph, a master hunter, dodged questions about his own shotgun's workings. Musais wondered aloud, what husband forgets his story when his wife of 34 years lies dead from a shotgun's blast? I saw no sorrow in him, Musais said. From Lusaka, Officer Musua Musais shared his gnawing doubts. His eyes betrayed him, he recalled. Something in his gaze reeked of deception. This was no accident. Yet Zambian police called Bianca's death a tragic misfire, closing the case before the truth could surface. But in the US, thousands of miles away, friends and colleagues began to whisper dark, unsettling questions. Larry cashed in $4.8 million in life insurance payouts, quietly running his thriving Pittsburgh dental empire from afar, now settled in Phoenix, where he and Bianca had built a lavish mansion. His staff was ordered never to breathe a word about Bianca's gruesome fate. Barely a month after returning to the US, the FBI revealed Rudolph swiftly moved to claim Bianca's life insurance policies worth a staggering $4.8 million. Bianca held multiple life and accidental death policies, the earliest dating back to 1987. Investigators, digging into Larry's finances, unearthed a shocking truth. Bianca was overinsured. 9 policies in all, spread across 7 companies. Together, they delivered a $4.8 million windfall. But the most damning revelation, mere months after Bianca's fatal shooting, Lori Milleran, his mistress, moved into his Phoenix mansion. For Larry, life marched on without a pause, yet those closest to the couple were haunted by a doubt. They refused to believe Bianca's death was an accident. At Larry's Three Rivers Dental Group, a chilling silence hung heavy. Dental assistant Sherry Halke, who served under Dr. Rudolph for nearly 8 years, noted Larry never spoke of Bianca's death. Not once did he mention her loss. He ordered staff to bury the topic. That silence only fueled suspicion. When patients dared to ask about Bianca, staff were instructed to dodge the question. They were told to change the subject, fast. Former staff whispered, no flowers, no condolence calls, no sympathy cards. By 2017, fear gripped the office. When staff returned from
it wasn't until later when she saw the news and reviewed the surveillance footage that everything snapped into place.
In the break room
the girl was
That's when assistant Holiday leaned in to whisper to a colleague, only for the phone to ring. Larry himself, calling from Arizona, demanding to know why they whispered. Lori Milleran had once confided to Anna Grimley, boasting of her affair with Larry, plotting to flee with him, and a fortune in cash, money siphoned from the dental empire. By then, Grimley had moved to Las Vegas, no longer tied to the dental office. But her suspicions burned stronger than ever. Grimley seized the phone and called the FBI. Dig into this now, she demanded. Look at the whole damn story. She told Dateline, floored to learn. Others had also tipped off federal agents. Calls flooded in days after Bianca's death. A close friend of Bianca's contacted the FBI, begging for a full investigation. She smelled murder. She told agents Rudolph was no stranger to affairs, and had one during the shooting. She dropped a bombshell, Bianca's cremation, betrayed her Catholic faith, A devout Catholic, Bianca had scorned cremation when a friend's husband was cremated. Soon, the FBI struck gold, evidence that shattered the accident lie, unveiling a twisted murder case, unlike any they'd tackled. As agents dug deeper, they exposed a tangled web of deceit, insurance scams and ruthless plotting. They tested the murder weapon, a 12-gauge shotgun, soft case, and identical ammo. Agent Peterson swore the 6-centimeter hole in Bianca's heart could only come from 2 feet away. FBI ballistics backed it up, 1 to 3 feet, no less. The rifle wasn't pressed against her as she zipped the case. This was no accident. Someone shot her dead on. Trial evidence sealed it. Larry Rudolph killed Bianca. He fired through her heart with a 12-gauge shotgun hidden in a soft case. It was October 11th, 2016, their last day in Zambia. He staged a tragic cover-up. Then came the bombshell. Phoenix bartender Brian Lovelace overheard Larry's confession. At stake 44, he told Miliron, "I killed my fucking wife for you." It was a fiery spring 2020 spat. The words pierced the steakhouse air. Lovelace's tip rocked the 2022 trial. Larry and Laurie haunted stake 44. Lovelace told trophy wife. In a 2020 music lull, Larry roared, "I killed my wife for you." "I'm dead sure," Lovelace swore. Clear as day, no doubt, but Larry's lawyers hit back, claiming a twisted context. 5 years after Bianca's death, Larry was nabbed. December 21st, 2021, in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. He and Laurie landed for the holidays. The walls were closing in. Miliron faced a grand jury. The truth clawed its way free. No accident, pure murder. Evidence damned Larry. His lies collapsed. Motive? Cash and Miliron. The case gripped the world. A trail of greed and a love turned lethal. Bianca's justice was coming. The hunter became the hunted. His empire of lies crumbled. A killer faced his reckoning about her dark affair with the rich dentist. 6 weeks later, Laurie was in cuffs, charged with obstruction of justice, lying under oath, and shielding a killer. In July 2022, they faced trial together. Larry's lawyers fought fiercely, calling it a flimsy, circumstantial case. Larry swore his innocence, testifying that Bianca shot herself by mistake. He claimed he and Bianca lived an open marriage since 2000 and were happy with it. But taking the stand was his fatal misstep. The jury foreperson revealed, "We were on the fence until he spoke." His testimony turned the tide, cementing his guilt. On August 1st, 2022, jurors convicted Larry of murdering Bianca. He got life behind bars. Laurie was guilty as an accessory, plus obstruction and perjury. She drew 17 years in federal prison. At Laurie's sentencing, Anna Rudolph faced Miliron. "Laurie, you stole my parents, but you'll never break my soul, despite all your evil. It's hard to grasp, because you have no soul. The case's deepest wound, the pain it inflicted on their children." Julian and Anna once stood by their father, publicly proclaiming his innocence. When Larry sought release, before trial, they backed him. Julian and Anna Bianca filed affidavits, swearing, "We know he's innocent. We know him best," they wrote. But the trial shattered their faith. Julian admitted, "I was wrong." The evidence changed everything. Prosecutors laid it bare. Witnesses, ballistics, and chilling crime scene photos. Images of Bianca's bloodied body seared into their minds. "Nothing prepared us," Julian said, for those horrific images. The trial brought brutal clarity. It answered their darkest questions. Now, Larry calls from prison, locked away for life. Julian rarely picks up, unable to forgive the killer, who gunned down Bianca in 2016, all for $4.8 million and a life with his mistress. "It's unthinkable," Julian said. Larry, now 70, rots in USP Terre Haute, Indiana. Laurie Miliron served 17 years, In Mariana, Florida, set for release on April 15, 2036, a dream safari in Zambia ended in betrayal and death. A mother and wife gone, 2 children parentless. A sinister web of lies unraveled. Bianca hunted a leopard, but fell prey to her husband. The man who swore to protect her became her executioner. Justice prevailed, but the wounds will never heal. A family torn apart, a legacy of greed and blood. The hunter became the hunted. Larry's empire of lies collapsed. His reckoning was complete. Bianca's memory endures, a light amid the darkness. Her justice, hard won, lives on. What do you think about the case of Larry Rudolph? Leave a comment, hit like, and share this video so we can dissect this chilling story together.